Hello all. Today I'm going to explain on the capacity planning for the GenAI platform. Let me start the so basically like one is on the token calculation, GPU requirements and the cost optimization. So how token volume scales with your workload? Daily tokens. So there is a calculation. Daily active users into prompt in by prompt to user into average token by request. So the input tokens will be around 3072 input tokens. The output tokens is around 1024 output tokens. So here it will comes to 75% of the request context plus prompt, and here 25% of the request generated text. So 2.05 billion tokens a day. So that is 10k daily active users into 50 prompts. So the monthly volume will be around 61 billion monthly volume and 30-day exploration. So one token is equal to 4 characteristics of English text, and system prompt is taking 200 to 500 tokens fixed overhead. User messages is 50 to 300 tokens per turn, and retrieved context like 500 to 2000 tokens, and model response is 100 to 1500 tokens. Scaling factor, the output ratio is typically 3:1 to 5:1. Multi-turn chat accumulates the history tokens. Context window gap 8k into 200k depending upon the model. KV cache to reduce the efficiency compute 30 to 60%, and peak hour burst. So 3:6x average tool. So this is the GPU requirements sizing your accelerator fleet for the interference of the workloads. GPU need is equal to peak tokens divided by second divided by GPU through output into 1.3 redundancy. So these are the models like 7B, 13B model, GPUs is 2 to 4, VRM is 24 to 48 GB tokens per second, 3000 to 5000. 70B model is GPU 8 to 16, VRAM is 160 to 320 GB, token per second is 800 to 1500. GPT-4 class is GPUs 32 to 64 plus VRAM is 64 GB, tokens per second is 200 to 600. So this is the cost optimizations. So strategies to reduce the total cost of the ownership by 40 to 70%. So first is the model routing. Sends a simple task to 7 billion and complex to 70 billion plus route to internet minus 35%. Semantic caching is minus 25%. Cache embedding for frequent queries saves identical answers without reference. Prompt compression, trim context via LLM lingua or selective summarization of chat history minus 20%. Spot GPU instances minus 40%. Use the preemptable GPUs for bad jobs. Reserves on demand for the real-time token budgeting. Sets maximum tokens per tier. Enforce output length of SLAs per use. So this is the graph, like 42% will be the GPU compute. LLM tokens will be 31%, VectorDB will be 12%, API gateway is 9%, network will be 6%. So the combining saving up to 70% of cost reduction versus the unoptimized baseline. So summary, your capacity planning, token calculation, daily active users into PPD into TPR. Input is 75%, output is 25%, monthly is a daily into 30, and which adds 20% of buffer for the overhead. Tax cost per million tokens. GPU requirements is GPU is equal to peak TPS divided by 1200 into 1.3. 7 billion needs is 2 to 4 GPUs. 70 billion needs 8 to 16 GPUs minimum. Scale at 80% utilization keeps 30% of redundancy always. Cost optimization route small model for 60% plus tasks, cache target to 25 to 35% hit rates, compress prim prompts to minus 20 tokens, spot GPUs, works batch workloads only, force maximum tokens per tier. So basically they use the interactive capacity planner to model your exact workload. That's adjust the DAU, tokens, GPUs, tier in the real time. Thank you for watching.